Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to another feature preview. Feature previews are a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you features that are going to be included within the next major update coming out for Minecraft on the console. I can do this by showing you gameplay of the PC equivalent update where these features came from, and this allows me to show you what the features look like, not just with screenshots, but also with gameplay, so you can see what the features look like, how they're going to behave, how you can get them, and all the sorts of things you'd like to know, so you can be prepared for the next big update coming out for Minecraft on the console, which we're currently calling Title Update 54. So yeah, hopefully you do all enjoy this TU54 preview on the brand new beds. There's lots of changes, not just the colours, but also they're really colourful too. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. You can like the video if so, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like learning about brand new features like these brand new beds. So yeah, there's lots of little changes to them, but let's start with the first big one, and the big thing you're probably curious about, because coloured beds, are just a brand new way to add creativity to the game. I'm surprised they weren't in the last update because they did kind of fit the theme, but in case you're like, okay, but I really want to just have a coloured bed, how do I do this, Toy Cat? What's the scoop? Well, basically what you can do with this new update is you can go to a crafting table, and instead of just being able to make the red bed, which by the way, the regular bed instead of being the bed now is called the red bed. Now you can make just the regular red bed, but also you can make any of these other colors. And in fact, not only is the red color not the default one, but it's also fairly hard to get in comparison to some of these other colors, because now the easiest bed to make is the white bed. And the reason for that is because now when you go into a crafting table and you take 3 of your wood, whatever wood planks you like, by the way, you can mix it up if you want to. You can even be like, I'll have some jungle in there too. If you try to mix the wool like you used to be able to, it was an update maybe a couple of years ago on the console, mix your wools and just be like, yeah, I'll just mix those like that. You can now no longer do this. You have to have 3 of the same wool to make your bed. So this actually makes the early game a little bit harder, where sometimes you'd have like 1 grey, 1 black, and 1 white wool. Now you need to have 3 of the same color of wool, and I'd recommend going with white unless you do happen to find 3 of whatever else that you really do want, and then you can make yourself a white bed. Again, like I said, if you really do happen to find a lot of wood from another color that you do quite like, what you can actually do is you can decide to be like, actually, yeah, we'll just take 3 orange wool and we can make ourselves an orange bed, or like take actually let's take 3 pink wool, because we found a pink sheep, let's say, or a magenta sheep, and we're really happy about that, so we make a magenta bed. And isn't that lovely? You can now make a bed of your color of choosing. But as well as being able to just do it like this, so you make a white bed by default, or you make a magenta bed like that, what you can also do is once you've made this white bed, because it's kind of like the base color, again, it's like shulker boxes, or like it's like a few different things where there's like a base color. The white thing can actually then be dyed to any other color if you so desire. So we can take our white bed that we just made before with our white wool, again the most common type of wool you're going to find anyway, and you can now dye this using just 1 bit of dye to have a blue bed, or you can do it with 1 bit of dye to make a lime bed. Or if you have, let's say, lots of cocoa beans, let's make up some fancy scenario, then you can now make a brown bed. Whatever color of bed you're looking for, it's probably not brown, let's be honest, you can now make that if you so choose, and that's kind of an exciting little thing. But yeah, it's not only that these beds are now a new customization option, they've also changed the beds quite a bit in a lot of different ways, some technical, some not, and they've also made it so that the naturally spawning beds in igloos are probably going to change to be a different color based on the biome. Again, that's a PE feature that's probably going to make its way to the PC soon. But yeah, in case you're curious as to like, okay, so what's the deal going on with this then? So they've changed the beds in one obvious way you've probably already spotted, which is how you hold them. So now the beds are not hold like, if you look at the way they are on console, is it kind of like poke out to the side a little bit. Now you can see the whole bed in this little icon on your thing, which is a little bit nicer, I think. It looks just a little bit more modern. You can see the whole thing, but also the way you hold it in your hand is just a little bit more different. You can see like the front of it, and it looks like you're really holding a bed. I mean, if I was holding a bed in my one hand, which would be impressive, this is probably how I do so. So yeah, that's a nice little change there too. But also, as well as this, you can see that if we like, yeah, let's just make a big little tower right here, and then let's place our, let's place our orange bed down there, because I really like orange. I think it makes great beds. You can see how underneath the bed is now no longer this glitchy little thing, because they've updated the model just a little bit, so there's now no longer invisible patches. As you can see, it's just, oh yeah, the legs are 3D, they've got a little hole beneath them, whereas before, they used to just be 2D, things that when you looked on this side, you could just see like wood above you. So that means if you had beds in your ceiling, because it's cheaper than wood or something, I don't know, whatever example requires you to have beds in your ceiling, now people will be able to see the legs below them at all points. So just a fun, interesting little fact, but it still does look like wooden planks, and it looks like a nice ceiling decoration that maybe you can use if you mix that up. I don't know, just a suggestion, a thing you can do. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but you totally can. So boom, there's an idea you can do using the beds. They just have nicer textures in this update, but also they've changed the actual functionality of them, not only to make it an entity, so beds are now entities, which means that if we, but they have like a render distance, they have like a fade in, fade out, and also maybe even a limit, I hope not on console. But also if you actually look at this thing right here, you can see how beds have been made bouncy. So this used to be a Pocket Edition exclusive feature, but they took it over to the PC, and they're going to be taking it over to the console, where basically if you bounce on a bed, it's a little bit like hay bales. styles, where you'll take less damage, but also it's a little bit like slime blocks, where you're not going to bounce really high into the sky, but you can use it to do some crazy bounces. So maybe this is useful for like adventure map makers or something like that. But as you can see, if we jump on this like this, we can actually use the bounce. Or, I mean, if we did it correctly, one, we didn't take much damage, which was nice. Like we should be taking like 3 or 4 hearts at this fall, but we only took like 1.5, I think that was. But also, oh, it was not even a full half. But as you can see, I can use the bounce to get me over this 2-block high fence, even though this is only half a block. So yeah, that means you can kind of bounce like an extra half block, even an extra full block in some circumstances, which is kind of nice. I mean, you could use that in some crazy parkour map, or you could just use it in your house to like, you know, have fun bouncing on beds. Because let's be honest, you know, in real life, what are beds meant for? What's the first thing you do when you realize you don't have your own bed? You jump on it a bunch because that's fun, and that's a thing you can totally do in this update as well. So yeah, basically, beds just got a lot more exciting. They've got a better icon, they've got better functionality, they've got 16 colors, which is so good because, again, some like the red bed, I mean, it's served its purpose well, don't get me wrong, but the fact that there's now 16 colors means that if you want a brown bed, you don't want a brown bed, let's be honest about ourselves, but if you want any of the other colors of beds, then what you can do is you can just make it, you can have your bright pink bread to not bread. I mean, pink bread's a nice thing too, but you can have your nice pink bed just to show off like, yeah, that's my thing. What are you going to do about it? You can have your nice blue bed to show how chill you are. You can have a green bed to show that you love nature. You can have a yellow bed to show that you hate style or whatever. And you have any of these other colors just because you really like them. And that's a thing you can do in this update. Oh, that wasn't pink, that was magenta. You know, I'm really bad at seeing colors, but that's a thing right there. So yeah, we can dye beds. We can do other stuff with them. And it's really exciting. Boom, update changing, making beds just that little bit better. And I think it's overdue change that we're going to be seeing in Title Update 54. Again, that update, we're seeing WorldNet week after week after week. It probably is still coming out soon before the 1.2 Better Together update. Just keep that in mind. There's not going to be the new Xbox update out before then, most likely. Again, I imagine they want to introduce this stuff first so you can transfer it over, but we'll see for certain how that does play out. But I will imagine, yeah, this is coming out before the brand new version of Minecraft Xbox. Don't worry, if you're playing Minecraft PlayStation, Wii U, etc., this update is for you, and you will be able to have colored beds. So boom, exciting stuff. Look at this, blue beds, matches my llama's soul. Thank you very much for watching the video. Like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.